The Costa Rica Reset is your chance to completely transform the way that you move. Whether that be for a performance goal or rehabbing and reconditioning an old injury, we use a completely integrated framework to get you the results you've always wanted. With over a decade of working in high-performance athletics, I combine the lenses that I've used as an athlete, as a coach, and as a therapist. Welcome to a world where rehab and prehab is completely integrated into your performance training, where what we find during massage and acupuncture sessions influences the way that we train and vice versa. Oh, and did I mention that you'll be receiving treatment and training in a beautiful backdrop of Costa Rica, home to the densest biodiversity in the world, mountains, beaches, volcanoes, fresh foods, and only a half hour from a major international airport. This immersive mixture of movement, medicine, natural beauty, and removal of the stresses of home lead to truly incredible results for athletes who want a performance edge, who may have chronic patterns of injury, or health and wellness professionals that are looking for a more holistic, balanced understanding of health and movement that we find by integrating understandings of both Eastern and Western medicinal and movement cultures. This combination of movement and medicine, combined with the backdrop of Costa Rica, have led to truly incredible results for some of the athletes and health professionals that have come down here and gone through the program. Let's listen more to what they have to say. Stefan is a professional high jumper, former NCAA champion, and top 3 jumper in Canada. Came out here to work on correcting some gait fundamentals, work on his strength and conditioning, and removed, in the process, some of the Achilles and ankle pain that had been hindering him for years.
I just feel more resilient, more durable in my body than honestly probably since like 6 years ago in college. Pushing that intensity and pushing that volume is a lot easier when you have the community and the support system to do it. Getting to have a session with Sam every single day was just life-changing in the sense that it really prepped me for a good week ahead, because we would do it on every Friday, and being able to kind of allow that to settle in, recharge over the weekend, and then come back on a Monday feeling nice and fresh and ready to go. That was really, really cool.
Rohan, former collegiate basketball player, hadn't been able to do plyometrics or dynamic athletic movement in 2 years following an Achilles tear. He is now training to follow his dream of being a professional basketball player and got his first dunk since the injury while in Costa Rica.
It seems like we were always making new friends at the track and at the weight room, which was awesome. So I technically got my first dunk back after a couple years removed. That made a huge difference for me. I think, we did that after our first week of training, and the next day I kind of woke up feeling like I almost had a new leg.
Jay was a college sprinter and professional Muay Thai fighter in Thailand for years. He hadn't run or done dynamic activity in 2 years after lower leg, hip, and low back issues. By the end of 2 weeks down here, he was actually moving back into sprinting progressions, even sprinting with the sled.
So I'm recently back from training with Sam down in San Jose, and it really got me back on track after dealing with quite a few injuries and issues over the last year and a half. I'd seen multiple physios, chiropractors, osteopath, neurologists, you name it, and nobody could really figure out what was going on. So I decided to fly down and work with Sam after hearing him on a podcast. The treatment sessions were the best I've ever had. The training was great. But I think more importantly, I feel like I left with an understanding of how these different systems in my body were interacting and maybe causing the issues I was dealing with. And also the toolkit of both exercises, self-massage, acupressure points, different things I had available to me to deal with flare-ups, to move forward, and to get back to doing the things that I love, which are sprinting and hopefully Thai boxing in the near future.
Malcolm is a professional sprinter and sprint performance coach. Came down here between coaches looking for some answers after having a confusing season where his sprint times actually got faster, but his hurdle times weren't improving the way he would have liked. We narrowed down the problem to his starting technique, his acceleration technique, leading to later on an inability to really open up his stride between the hurdles.
Really came to do a lot of balancing, rebalancing physically, mentally, spiritually. I got exactly what I needed and cannot be any more grateful for it. Just the grounding effect that it has on you has honestly been something that I know I could take with me wherever I go.
Gabi is a health coach who reduced 80 to 90% of his knee pain that he felt on arrival by the end of his week here, connecting his former passions of fitness culture with a more sustainable understanding of longevity and holistic health.
So I wasn't making the progress that I wanted to make as an individual. Now, I'm not a pro athlete. but I am really enjoys health. So we did a ton of treatment. We also did movement and kind of alternating between the two. And I was in pain, man. My first day, I was disheartened, if you will, just not encouraged. Like, man, how long is this thing gonna last? You know, let's say it was a 10 to now I'm probably sitting at like maybe a 2, and I think the last one is really more of like a mental sort of guarding that will come with time. I think there's a pretty big difference in, like, again, going to see a practitioner for an hour or 30 minutes and then leaving versus being fully immersed. So for me, that was huge in terms of transforming all aspects, physical, mental, and spiritual as well. I mean, it's definitely going to impact my everything else I do in terms of business and things of that nature.
A typical previous schedule for your reset is as follows. You wake up in an Airbnb tucked into Escazú's scenic mountain. You take it slow and eat at home, or you venture into town, one of the local markets or outdoor eateries, to grab a bite to eat. Then hop in a quick and cheap Uber ride to one of our locations. So the track located up in the mountains, to the gym down in the valley. We even have some secret scenic spots tucked away in the nature here too. You spend an hour or two receive your treatment, training, or even doing both. You'll then have the rest of the day free. You have half the day to train and half the day to do whatever you'd like to do. Many of our reset athletes spend half the day working, local coffee shops, co-working spaces, or even under the trees in local parks. Others opt for a local adventure to mountains with beautiful views, walking around town, visiting local parks, or even shopping in Megali. And others choose to travel further. We have within an hour and a half of our city beaches, waterfalls, volcanoes, and even national parks to see the nature and wildlife that Costa Rica is so well known for. As far as pricing goes, instead of paying for a luxury retreat and all of its accommodations, you're just paying for time spent with your coach and therapist. Some athletes spend 3 or 4 hours a day with me, while others choose to work out every other day or even once a week and spend the rest of the time exploring the city, exploring the nature, or many other beautiful things that Costa Rica has to offer. Some opt for more luxury, high-class accommodations, while many others opt for something cheaper, like a hostel. When you decide you want to come down, together you can make a neat plan tailored to your individual needs. And please, if you're interested, please shoot me a message on Instagram or by email and tell me about your goals and when you're thinking about coming down. And we can make a plan that's uniquely tailored to you. And please, if you're interested in more information, don't hesitate to send me an email or send me an Instagram message. Tell me about your goals, tell me when you're thinking about coming down, and we'll make sure that we create a plan that'll have you leaving Costa Rica feeling reset, refreshed, on your way to your goals with all the tools in your toolkit to help you accomplish that even when you leave Costa Rica.